Chatty Wednesdays with me.
Hello, today I'm doing a Chatty Wednesday about the reason that I moved out of my previous flat. And I was kind of unsure if I was going to talk about this, and I didn't want to talk about it until we were fully out and we had our deposit back. But now that that's done, I'm ready to spill the tea. So basically, Connor and I were living in a flat in South London that I really loved. We both really loved it. We loved living there. We liked the location, we loved the flat. Our landlord was an angel, which I don't get to say very often. You know, landlords can be awful, but we were very lucky. We had a lovely landlord, we had a really good relationship with her. Everything was great. We also had a fairly good relationship with the woman who lived below us. Or so we thought. She seemed to really like us. She was really friendly to us, and you know, she bought us a Christmas hamper. It was all very amicable, but a couple of little red flags. When we first moved in, after a couple of weeks, our doorbell broke, and we had to get a new one, and we ordered one on Amazon. We did not think for a second that that was going to cause an issue, but we came home the next day and someone had carved into the brick, "Why?" I was like, that's insane. That is like eerie. Why has someone done that? But at the time, we only had contact with one person in the flat. So we text him saying, "Hi, is there a problem because somebody's carved Y into the wall?" And he texts back saying, "It was not me." So there was only one other person that lived in the flat. Never got to the bottom of why. The question will always linger. Another great example of her behaviour. There was like a youth centre next to where we lived. Sometimes on a Sunday morning, a gospel choir would sing there. And there was one Sunday morning where they were singing and it sounded so nice. It was just such a lovely sound. I even said to Connor, "Aren't we so lucky to live here and to be able to hear that this morning? What an amazing sound." And then minutes later, because we had our windows open in order to listen to the lovely sound, we heard the windows downstairs open and a voice shouted out, "Shut the f*** up!" I kid you not. She shouted, "Shut the f*** up!" at a gospel choir singing on a Sunday morning. Like 10, 11 a.m. Not late at night, not ridiculously early in the morning, not unbearable heavy metal, just a beautiful sound. And she shouted, "Shut the f*** up," out of her window. That is how this woman lives her life. Just screaming "why" and "shut the f*** into the void." But basically, we had to move out of our flat in the end because this woman kept complaining about us. And I know what you're thinking. Two musicians, you're probably playing music. Oh, no. No, her biggest complaints were us walking around. She could hear us walking around and she did not like that. Flushing the toilet, which became something that we could only do within certain hours. We could not flush the toilet after 10 p.m. in our own home. Using the bathroom in any way, any use of the bathroom after a certain time was like pretty much restricted. In a flat that we were, you know, paying a fair amount to live in. And once she complained that she could hear a whistling kettle at 1 o'clock when we were in bed, and we don't own a whistling kettle. And I find it ironic that she was complaining about noise when we would so often come home to this sound. That is the volume that she would play her music. She had the audacity to say that we were being noisy. She used to stink out the hallway with a substance that I will not name. But it was just like one of those things, you couldn't smell it inside our flat, and you know, she's doing her own thing, minding her business, do whatever you want in the comfort of your home and the shared communal hallway, I guess. These flats, I lived in a converted house. I say a flat, but you know, it's like an old townhouse that's been converted. So, you know, the insulation and the soundproofing is not great. So we always assumed that she could hear us because we could hear her rowing with her boyfriend incredibly loudly quite often. We lived there for so many years with no problems, and then just in the middle of 2023 suddenly we were being too loud all the time. But I would like to say that that coincided with her splitting up with her boyfriend. So she split up with her boyfriend and then suddenly everything was a problem. Do you know what? I feel like if it had been like this from the beginning, then I would believe that she actually had an issue that was rational. But because it just sort of appeared, especially after she split up with her boyfriend, I just find that very convenient. It's a shame because we wanted to fight it for a long time. We were like, no, we'll fight this. This is our home. We just decided that it wasn't worth our happiness. We made an arrangement with our landlord. She actually let us come out of our contract early, which was really sweet of her. And I was so worried about it, so anxious that we were not going to find somewhere that was as nice. Finding somewhere to live in London is really stressful. But if you've seen some of my previous videos, we actually managed to find a really great place. It's in a really great location, and it's actually, and if my old landlord is watching this, you will always have a place in my heart as the best landlord ever. But I actually like this flat even better than our old flat. That's the story of why we had to move out of our old place. And I don't know if it's a funny story. It's actually kind of sad. Because we basically were defeated by the negativity and decided to move away from it, and we found something even better. Thanks for listening to me spilling the tea. I hope you're all happy. I hope you've all got lovely relationships with your neighbours, and I hope you have a really lovely rest of your day. Thanks for watching. Bye.